I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Everyone have a seat. Proud tonight.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good. Good. I like that. Okay, so up first is the Department of Public Works Building Project Update by the Building Committee.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
before we start, we have several members of the Finance Committee and several members of the Community Center Building Committee on the screen.
Okay.
I don't see that any action is going to be taken, so I'm saying that I don't believe we need to call the meeting to order. They can ask questions, but I don't believe any
Action.
any action will be taken.
Okay, that works.
So, well, thank you, Madam Chair, for putting the DPW Building Committee on. This is a project that, as you know, has been going on for quite a few years, actually, in different forms. But last November, at the special town meeting, there was an appropriation of $2,502,000, $974.
You're close.
To bring the project to design documents. And that has been ongoing. We recognized back then, and even before that, that it was going to be a real tight timeline to bring this in time to get it to town meeting. In spite of that, the Weston Sampson and Vertex have been working diligently and with participation primarily from the working group, that group that will be primarily involved in the use of the building to come up with a building and plan design that will serve the town for years to come and within the budget allocated that we have. There is a floor plan, conceptual plan is already in place. The issue now is trying to get everything in the proper order inside the, in the floor plan and at a proper price. So on the screen, we have Steve Kirby, Matt Sturts, and I thought JP Parnas and Tony Westphizer from Weston Sampson and Steve Kirby from Vertex. Matt Sturts is Vertex. And I think, I hope I didn't miss anybody. You all may be familiar with Mr. Kirby, as he was the OPM for the community center and this building some years ago. So I'll let you take this, take the screen, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Good evening, Select Board, Finance Committee, and DPW Building Committee members. Like Paul said, my name is Steve Kirby. I'm with the Vertex Companies, with the OPM for the DPW project. I'm going to share my screen to go over the recent progress, our schedule, and our budget, and then the current design. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay, just let me know you're seeing that on your screen.
Yes.
Okay. So our design progress since the fall town meeting, we have done test pitting for structural and drainage studies, and those are complete. We did a hydrant flow test, which is complete. We've had numerous focus working group meetings for particular subjects, including technology, HVAC, plumbing, fire protection, electrical. We had department head meeting. We've met with planning and conservation. Our schematic design was complete, and we did receive a cost estimate in the end of March. The site plan review submission went to the planning board on the 20th, and we actually have a meeting later tonight at 7 with the planning board just to accept the filing. And then there's a planning board meeting, hearing in May. The site plan review submission is going to the Concom by the end of this month. That meeting is already set up for May 13th. As Paul said, we've been having bi-weekly working group meetings since the project started. Design development phase is ongoing through the end of this month, and we should have a cost estimate for the design development, which is the next step in estimating, in the beginning of May. Like I said, some upcoming dates. Obviously, we're here tonight with you. We got planning board also tonight. The completion of design development is anticipated for the end of this week. On Thursday, we have the second community outreach forum at the community center. And then, as you know, May 7th is town meeting, and the 12th is the ballot requesting construction funds. Again, May 13th, we have the Conservation Commission meeting, and May 26th, we have the first planning board hearing. Continuing our updates, essentially May through July, we'll be working on construction documents, which is essentially getting the plans and specifications ready to go out to bid. Concurrent with that, in June and July, we'll have to do a general contractor and file sub-bid pre-qualification because the estimate is greater than 10 million. It's part of Mass General Law, Chapter 149. August, actually, I should say August to September 2026, we'll be doing our file sub and general contractor bidding. Ideally, we'll have a contract awarded in October, and our construction duration right now, we might tighten this up a little bit, but it's October of this year through December of next year. As we said, we got design development cost estimate going out. At this point, we're doing two separate third-party cost estimates. Weston & Sampson uses a company, TCI, and Vertex, we've contracted with PM&C, both widely used in the construction industry, to have essentially two separate cost estimates that once they come in, we'll meet as a group and do a reconciliation meeting that's right now scheduled for the week of May 11th. That way we make sure that both estimators haven't missed anything, or they're not carrying something that's really not in the project. And the costs are never going to be exactly the same, but they'll be very close, and it gives us a much better feel for where the estimate is right now. This schematic design estimate was only through Weston & Sampson with TCI. Our project budget, which you've probably seen these numbers, the design costs was the 2.5 and change that was approved at fall town meeting. Right now, we've got a construction estimate of about 14.9, and our owner cost and fees estimate of a little over 2 million. That brings us to just under 19.5. Again, taking what was already appropriated, we're just under 17 million, which is where we want to be for town meeting and what's out on the warrant. So at this point, we'll go over the current design site plan, the exterior isometric, and the floor plans, and I'm going to turn it over to JP to sort of run you through these items. JP, just let me know when you want me to change the slide.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Steve. And let me put this over here. Some of you may be familiar with the existing DPW, hopefully. We decided early on to try to scale back the project and keep the existing garage. We're basically gutting that garage and leaving it as is, essentially to remain as a garage just for vehicle storage. Trying to do as minimal work as possible to that existing structure to not trigger too much code upgrades. Otherwise, we are then adding on new maintenance bays and new staff support and administration areas and a wash bay to the east of the existing garage. We're basically redoing the whole site, putting in new stormwater, keeping the existing salt shed. There is a small fabric storage structure that we're relocating in order to make room for the new addition, as well as the existing 10,000-gallon fuel tank. We're relocating that temporarily until such time as a new fuel system for the entire town can be installed, tentatively on the west side of the existing garage that's dashed in there. New full standby generator that would run the entire facility with a new electric service coming in. And as I say, all new stormwater systems. Next slide, please. So this is an isometric of the proposed facility. You can see in the back, the gray is the existing garage to remain. The shorter section is the administration and staff support areas. And then the tall section at the back are the maintenance bays and the new vehicle wash bay. And you can see outside the wash bay is a kind of a catwalk that allows some preliminary wash down of trucks from above, and then they can get into the wash bay and do a more thorough cleaning. It's the new structure will be a pre-engineered building. Typically very simple and minimalist design. They're very efficient at designing the steel. Insulated metal panel walls, metal panel roof, all materials and designs, assemblies to be durable and low maintenance. Next slide, please. So this is that low section that you saw in that isometric, which is the staff support and administration. There is a director's office and foreman's offices. We have a training and conference room. In the center section are toilets and staff lockers and showers. At the front is a shared administration area and a public lobby. And then to the left of that is a break area for the staff. Could also be doubled as additional training or additional meeting space as needed. And then the remaining is utility rooms, some storage rooms, etc. Next slide, please. And then at the back, this is the tall section that you saw in the isometric. On the 2/3 of the left side there are the two new vehicle maintenance bays. And then you can see the vehicle wash bay, which is a pull-through, so they can drive in and out front and back. Within the maintenance bays are parts rooms and fluid storage for oil and hydraulic fluids, etc., and a small office for the maintenance staff to be able to look up reference information, etc., and do paperwork. Within the wash bay, within the maintenance bays, we have an in-ground lift and a two-post lift. The in-ground lift can basically lift just about any vehicle needed, and the two-post lift is for typically normal cars up to small pickup trucks. And then there is an overhead crane as well to safely lift either equipment or pieces off of vehicles, and then also to access a mezzanine, which is over the parts and fluids rooms. Not shown in this plan, but it's over that area. So the bridge crane can access that and lift equipment or store tires up there, for example. The fluids room allows for an overhead fluids distribution system, which is a safe and efficient manner of allowing the maintenance crew to get fluids into those trucks. That's the end of that, or what's the next slide?
That's it.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, if I
Any
may,
questions?
to what JP had said, the first pass on this was I believe, $33 million. And that's, after seeing that, that's why the size of the building was scaled down to the current amount of 17,000, or 17 million, I'm sorry.
Does anybody have any questions, comments?
In addition, I think most of the members of the board, and I think all the committees have seen the video that the students at Blackstone Valley did,
Oh, great, yeah.
showing the current conditions, and Dennis commented on the needs as to why the new facility is needed.
And you're planning to present that video at town meeting? Great.
Yes.
Live, or you're gonna play the video?
Really?
Okay, guys, a question, how'd you get from 33 to 19 and a half? What'd you guys,
So
what was cut? What,
Basically, we cut out 10,000 square feet of building. The original building took a lot of consideration for expansion, which this building does not. It allows for it in future growth. So it's designed in a fashion that you can add on to the building easily without reinventing the wheel. But the expansion concept is not there for the taking. It's gonna be built. It also doesn't address the salt shed is undersized, and that got cut out. We didn't address that. And all we did was take the existing 1,000-gallon fuel tank and relocate it. Don't have a new fuel island, or we're not dispensing more liquid than we already have. So those were the big factors that cut that from 30 to 33 million down to 17 to 19. And from 30,000 square feet down to, I think it's around 20 or 21 now. About 10,000 square feet we took out of the building.
And the first plan was basically eliminating the existing building.
Yeah, it was a whole new structure.
Just a question. So having seen this and gone through the process and lived with the existing facility, you know, how are you and your team feeling about the prospect of this moving forward?
More excited than I can put into words. Really, and I understand that it doesn't do exactly, and Brent, you were part of some of those discussions at the beginning.
Yeah.
When you said, guys, make sure when you're taking a look at this, you take into consideration future growths. And it was a big point that you made during that, and we really tried. Unfortunately, to make compensation for it now in square footage
Yeah.
equates to dollars and cents.
Yeah.
So we compromised, and we structured a building in a fashion that we can add on to it later to achieve that without having to tear down buildings and, and reconstruct new ones. You can just put additions on, but we couldn't make it available now.
Yeah.
So when we move into this building, we will be full.
But the underground and conduits and all will be put in now to accommodate future fuel station at the other end of the building. And then I think that shows on one of these drawings where that is.
I think the biggest excitement, to your point, Brett, comes from the staff realizing, sometimes it gets a little dangerous in there in the middle of winter when we have to work on trucks and they're running inside and we can't keep the doors open because we can't heat the outdoors. So we have to run the trucks inside and the doors are closed. And you can tell after a little while the fumes get really rough. I can tell because I'm outside in the trailer and then I walk into the building, they're getting used to it because they're in it. But I can see their eyes getting bloodshot and it's starting to get tough. And I'm like, you gotta kill the motor, gentlemen, and open the doors for a little bit and we gotta air this out.
Yeah.
I think the biggest excitement is the fact that we're not gonna experience that.
That just goes away.
Especially after a winter like we had, I imagine.
You're taking care of all the EPA stuff with this too.
And I want to say from an administrative standpoint.
Yes.
Damn trailer,
Yeah.
a real joy. And I think that having all of the staff in one building
Yeah.
will be a vast improvement over the communication that goes on between the administration
Yeah.
and field.
Good.
Exactly.
And,
And I think, you
They're
know,
not
at
gonna
the
have
end of the
water
day, we all have to realize what we've paid
Water
for that
wastewater's not gonna be here, are they?
Yes, they are.
trailer torch on it,
Right.
as I like to call
Yes, they
it.
are. They're coming.
Yeah.
I thought that.
No, you're
Oh,
not in there.
you should make that clear.
Yeah.
Because I thought that they were not gonna, what water wastewater was not gonna be in this building now. That was part of the cut.
Steve, can you back up a couple slides? To the,
So that is
to the administration building?
that's a big positive. That should be noted.
Yeah, it was tough. So this is the big change. You got, this is the kitchen, the lunchroom, the break room. This is the training so that we can get all of our staff. It is exactly big enough for my exact amount of staff. So everybody can get in there. And you have the DPW director, you have the highway superintendent, the water and wastewater superintendent, and we left an office for cemetery mainly. Parks and cemetery, mainly cemetery, so that when we have residents that are coming to talk about purchasing graves and whatnot, you want to give them some privacy for residents to come in. And then this is all utilities, and you have actual lockers and administration restrooms right there. So we have different restrooms than the staff has for obvious reasons.
And to Bill Taylor's point, the igloo has been there for 30 years. It's, I think this is the second, if not the third. And from a budgetary standpoint, there's an allocation in Dennis's budget for what, between, well, I think it's around $9,000 now, and it had been, it's increased over the years. But we have paid more in rent. We could have bought that building 10 times over for what we're paid
Are we
in
gonna get
rent.
our security deposit back?
You think they-
It's been this, the line rent was at $52.
Oh, and
First last
and again,
upfront.
Yeah.
and Dennis will tell you, I've been in there, many of you have been in there.
Yes.
The air conditioner doesn't work. Dennis has brought his own air conditioner in and, you know, and, in the winter, you freeze, in the summer, you bake. It's basically,
Do
it's
we have
like,
to pay to dispose of it? Like, or does someone take it back? Are we
No,
leasing it?
they'll take it back, but that'll be really interesting to watch because
Yeah. It will probably disintegrate the minute they touch it.
Yeah.
it's gonna be, they're never, though, I can tell you, the rims and tires on that thing will have to be changed before they can move it.
Oh, yeah.
Without a
They're
doubt.
putting it on a
It's-
trailer or something.
it's basically a sardine can.
And I don't think anyone in this day and age should, you know, and you've heard me say it before, I called Dennis over the summer. Well, what do you want, Laura? Just make sure you and Bill are still breathing, because I feel like I've left a dog in a hot car. I shouldn't do it.
It was
Because
80,
the AC doesn't,
it
the
was
other day.
86 and then 84, 80, built 84, 86 last week.
Yeah.
Full sun, you know, there's no R factor to that building, so.
and
Good.
you're lucky to get 50 in the winter. I'd never make it.
And,
I will
and so
take it.
is the plan for town meeting, to your point, just to show the video? You're not gonna go through any of this presentation, you're just gonna show the video?
This,
Oh, you're gonna go through this too?
we'll do this, we're gonna do this on Thursday night again.
So there's a,
So this presentation and the video. I'm just trying to see what's
Right,
gonna happen
town
at town
meeting,
meeting.
he's asking
Yeah,
at town
meeting
meeting, that's tomorrow
specifically,
night, Paul.
not tomorrow
Thursday.
night. I'm talking about town meeting when.
We plan to show the video.
the video and then,
We've already had this discussion with the moderator.
and then a short presentation right afterwards. That's not exactly like this one,
But
but it had some,
similar. Okay,
it's kind of abbreviated.
that's all. I
Because
was
the video
I was just.
hits a lot of this.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't want to be redundant.
Okay, as long as there's a plan.
The video doesn't show these schematics, these drawings and things like that, but it,
Right, see, this are the most current.
you've seen them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great.
So it's not relevant. I know that up front, but how much was the community center? What was the cost of the community center building?
Just under 12 million.
Just well, yeah.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
But that,
I'm
you know,
sure it's gonna come up and say, okay,
And also, we need to be prepared. When we decided to shelve the DPW and community center, if I'm not mistaken, the price of the DPW was about 10 million, am I correct?
It was,
I think we got 14, I think was the first one.
Yeah.
We were like, that's
14.
high, let's try to, we were trying to
Yeah.
flesh it out at that point to be like, can we get like a $5 million job?
that's when we started talking about
Yeah.
breaking it up into like 2 or 3
Phases,
phases.
yeah, exactly.
I think we were right around $15 million.
Yes, I think that's fair.
but this has been a discussion that's been going on to various degrees of intensity for 8, 9, maybe even 10 years. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Rick McGuire is on here. He was on a couple of these early committees.
Yeah.
That, where we were talking about this. And again,
Believe it or not, Paul, I was here for that.
and if you,
I know you don't want to admit it.
no, but if you, from a cost standpoint,
Exactly.
if you say, if we did this 8 or 9 years ago versus doing it now, just think what the cost
If
differential.
we don't do it now.
Right.
Well,
It'll
that's
be
just it, if we don't
30
do it
million.
now.
Well,
Right.
I mean, it
If-
was 30 million, we
Yeah.
cut it down to 19, and
So
in
true.
2 or 3 years, it's gonna be,
well, you can look at it from the standpoint of what's the cost of not doing this now?
it's something we
Good.
can afford.
Yeah, again, we got lucky on the borrowing for the community center. I think we have some ridiculous price like 1.89. And I think Kenny's estimating here maybe 3.75. I believe.
That's still a decent rate.
And the other thing is that people have to consider is we've got 2,500,000 or something like that into this. That still has to be paid back. If this somehow we are forced to walk away from this.
So you guys are considering this like a dry run, right? That's what you're,
This was an opportunity to update. The board hasn't been updated
No.
since the fall town meeting. And a lot of work's been done. And so this was an
You guys
opportunity,
have really pushed,
right? And we knew it was gonna be tough.
Mhm.
We knew it.
you said it, but I'll tell you, you're, the amount of work, it's,
You got to strike when the iron's hot, so good job.
And again,
if this is a dry run, you guys want to hit on why you need it. I don't think people are gonna be as, we understand you and Bill, but the fact that 2 people are not temperature controlled, probably
Oh,
not
no,
19.5 million, like.
Point well taken.
You focus on the garage, like it's not EPA, like all those things like have to be covered here.
have you seen the video?
and the health and
I
safety.
have, I'm
department.
saying like for a presentation that has to be repeated, people are gonna see the video, they're not gonna be
There was no,
paying attention to it.
there was no need to repeat the video now because everybody in this room has seen it.
That's why I just asked if this was a dry run, like when you guys present.
It was
this
the
shit-
dry run.
Dennis, do you want me to
Steve, you
call
wanna-
up the,
Yeah, you wanna pull up the one for Thursday night and town meeting? So this is after the video.
Mhm.
This is the one that the committee is gonna go through.
Yeah.
It starts off looking an awful lot like the one last year, but now it's gonna be abbreviated.
And you can just kind of flip through it.
Yeah,
You don't
go
have
ahead.
to present it, just
Yeah.
flip through it.
Right,
Just so you
So,
guys know, I thought this was a dry run for Thursday, which is a dry run for the town meeting, so I just wanna
so
give you
this,
guys that feedback, 'cause I don't wanna do that in front of everybody.
Right. it's a reminder of the responsibilities, the changes that the department has experienced over the last 30 years in the size of the town and the infrastructure and the road miles, the population, the water customers, the sewer customers. Keep going, Steve.
Yeah.
And then it does show just a recap of the site
Perfect. Perfect.
and the building.
Good, good.
And then talk about all of the times that are associated with the project, and then the budget. The most important part that people want to see is the design costs, construction costs. One more, Steve. And then this is the important one that people will be looking for. What's this cost me? What's it gonna do to my taxes? So, and that's an important slide. And these are the main reasons, to your point, and the code compliance, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, DEP wash bay regulations, ADA compliance, the health and safety of our staff, protect our investment. We have almost $4 million in rolling stock in that building.
that's the last one.
That's it. So like I
I
said,
like
it's
the
a
fact
preview.
that health and safety is in red, because that is a huge thing.
It really
I think the audience has to understand, we have to take care of
That
our.
answer your question.
Yeah, no, it's. Make sure you guys are prepared, that's all.
Well, through the chair, you know, our missed liability here, so
Exactly.
we have a wonderful staff of
folks that have been willing to operate under these conditions, should you want to continue to attract and retain qualified employees, the work conditions have to be safe.
Yeah.
Because that also puts the town at risk.
Exactly. And the town at risk gets expensive
Yes, it does, quickly.
for the taxpayers. You know?
Is,
Sure.
does anyone, the building committee have any comments or? I'll speak at once.
That means no.
It's like everybody's happy.
And
Andy, you're muted.
apparently Andy's good.
He said he's good.
Anyone from the finance committee have any questions?
Just one thing, you guys have it as a dollar amount per quarter. We decided against doing anything per quarter. So we were doing it just showing them the actual number, the annual number. So I don't know if you want to be consistent, if we're gonna show that.
I'm fine with that. That's the slide that we used during the fall town meeting.
Yep.
We tried to keep things consistent because we promised the taxpayers that
Oh.
this is what we were doing.
But and when it comes to that, as you know, this estimate is based on your FY 26 values. Things are gonna change.
Yeah, it's just an order of
Things,
magnitude.
things are gonna change, and you try to explain people that the tax rate is a function of what is raised and appropriated as it relates to the total assessed value of the town. And those numbers are moving till November. The recap sheet is filled out, and DOR approves your tax rate. And again,
The humor in all this is he's the one who hammered me for not using per quarter. He's the one who said it's not gonna be per quarter. Now you're the one defending it, so I give up.
I can explain that right
You guys-
now
you
if
guys-
you want me
You
to.
guys can fight about this in the finance committee meeting. You don't care. Let's go.
I can explain that.
I don't want it to be explained to me. I understand it.
All right.
I can explain that, he says.
Seems like you made me change all my numbers.
No,
Now you
Change
know
the
that.
The recommendation letter had per quarter, and he got per quarter.
Steve, you know, as I say, no.
That was code.
Just
Okay, all right.
one of them.
Are there any more questions or comments from the building committee or the finance committee? Speak now, you for hold your peace. The finance committee has not taken a formal vote on this. However, in conversation, it would appear that the board is in favor of it. We were holding out because my good friend over here, Mr. Byrne, Mr. Byrne always likes to see all the numbers. And like we said, all these numbers are just coming in now. But in concept, I think I speak for the finance committee in that they are on board with this. As far as the DPW building committee, DPW building committee is the sponsor of this article. So have we done an absolute formal vote on this? No. We can going forward.
But through the chair
Yes,
to the co-chair. Have you explained that to the moderator, just in case there may be a question? Sometimes I imagine the moderator would ask what the FinCom recommendation
Well, we'll have a
was.
recommendation by then.
Oh,
It'll
okay,
be before then.
okay.
We just didn't have anything for the book. It says like TBD.
Right, and sometimes the moderator might ask the building committee if they took a vote or had, so if you're up to it, you check that box and do it so that you can just say yes. Instead of, I mean, we sort of assume that we're all on board, but
I think they did that last week.
even better.
you
Did the
good?
building committee take
Yeah.
a vote last
I
week?
don't think so.
Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Thank you.
And good,
Thank you.
good luck at the planning board, Tommy.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so next is ESS request for acceptance of unsolicited, unsolicited gifts in support of the food pantry in the amount of $1,100. Do I hear a motion or?
Anybody here? I move to accept the unsolicited gift of $1,100 from ESS in support of the Upton Food Pantry.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. I would like to thank those people. And the next is ESS request for an acceptance of an unsolicited gift from Friends of Upton Seniors in the amount of $1,000 to help sponsor the second annual senior soiree, which I hear was a huge hit Friday night.
I move to accept the unsolicited gift of $1,000 from the Friends of the Seniors to support the second annual senior soiree.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I was there.
Mhm.
It was I must commend the staff of ESS, Tanya and her group. They did one hell of a job, as did my friend Mr. Rackerton, who is still on the screen, who is the president of the Fuse Group and which contributed to this. But to a person, everyone had a real enjoyable time. Steve, help me out.
It was a blast. Whenever you can get a group of people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s to gather in the same place and have a really good time, that's a very special occasion, and that's exactly what it was. And like Paul said, Tanya and her staff did an incredible job.
Was there food and beverage?
There was food, it's a town building, there would be no alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, but did they serve drinks?
Oh, yeah, there was a meal served.
It's a meal.
So the
Oh, it was
food,
a meal
the food
and
was
then dancing
the
was
food was
after.
catered by Country Super, and they did their usual excellent job of catering for us, and the desserts were provided by the Bloomer Girls, which is very nice of them.
That is awesome. Very cool.
Then there was a disc jockey guy, he was the same one as last year. Last year the thing was the 60s, and this year I would have stuck with the 60s, but this year they moved it up to the 70s. So, and Mr. Rackerton, I've never seen the man without a hat. And he sends me a text earlier in the day, he says, "You won't recognize me. I'm not wearing a hat." Well, he had the most fantastic 70s wig there that I've ever seen. But Steve, there were a lot of pictures taken. Somebody's got to put them up there because
Yeah.
there were
There are
several
pictures. There are
decent costumes.
pictures posted on the Fuse Facebook page, and we will have a binder in the community center like we did for last year, with all the pictures that people took. So everybody looks forward to going through the pictures afterward. So there'll be a lot of pictures.
Congratulations and thank you to everyone
And
involved.
Mr. Rackerton, I'm sure, is already working on next year's.
Very good.
Thank you for allowing me to comment.
Madam Chair, and I would also, not related, regarding the prior motion, we said $1,100. It is $1,100, but I would like to call out and recognize that 500 of that donation to ESS is a gift from the Bloomer Girls in the form of Walmart gift cards. The other two donations were anonymous. That one was not. I wanted to recognize that. So thank you to the Bloomer Girls.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. So, and I do have to say, I was in the parking lot because I have my friend's 4-year-old grandson at the playground, and I could see the people going in. And my girlfriend I was with was like, "That looks fun, let's go."
What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
tickets. We're a little jealous.
We can't get in.
I'll fight crash next year.
Love that.
So,
Love it.
all right.
That's why it's crashing.
Streetlight.
Did
So-
you dance up a storm, Paul?
I did not.
Well, that's disappointing.
Inside, just dance inside.
You
Never.
enjoyed your visit.
You're getting quite. Does that face tell you?
That's my answer.
But
He's
you
like,
said
that's the
it so many
second time
times,
you've talked to me
you're
tonight.
gonna
That's enough.
You're gonna give you that face. All right, so next up is acceptance of the streetlight at the intersection of Claflin Farm Road and Hopkinton Road. Who is speaking on that?
I can speak on that.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
In connection with the Preserve at Dean Pond, it was approved with the condition that there be a streetlight installed at that intersection with the approval of the Board of Selectmen. The developer went ahead and had arranged with National Grid to have it installed, so it's there now. But it, of course, could be taken down if we had to. So in any case, I'm seeking the approval of the Board of Selectmen, if you so desire, to approve that, and then we can complete the process of transferring the ownership from the developer to the town. This particular light was installed well after our project, or outside of our project to buy all of the fixtures, so it's owned by National Grid. It'll run us about $175 a year to run it. And over time, I think we could probably arrange to buy it and include it. But at this point, I just want to get it, if we're gonna approve it, I want to transfer it to the town because there's outstanding bills that need to be paid, so on and so forth.
Questions, go ahead, Brett? Maureen?
My only question is, you may not know this, you may know this. I'm very much a sort of dark skies proponent. And so anytime I think of that, I think of, anytime someone's putting up any lights of any sort, I sort of say, okay, do we absolutely need the light? So it's just really a question of, presumably, this is a public safety thing from the police chief, and that
Well,
was why.
the planning board, it was a condition of the planning board
Yeah,
as a safety concern.
got it.
And it certainly makes turning on, at night into and out of the development safer.
Yeah,
And it is right at the intersection. so
Yeah.
It's placed kind of sort of well outside of.
Yeah.
the-
has it been on, or is it just?
Oh, it's been on, yeah.
It's been on, and nobody's complained about it.
We've not received any complaints at all.
No,
There we
I
go.
have a friend
That's
that
all I
lives
wanted.
just over the Hopkins
That's what I
line,
was wondering.
and it's very dark through there.
Yeah. that-
Extremely dark through here.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, she put solar lights at the end of her driveway, you would never find
It's
them.
on the market,
So I think safety has to
Yeah.
get in and out of that street.
right, that development.
And then there's really not that much.
So,
Yeah, I think
as long as it's not-
to the extent that, the neighborhood decides they would prefer the dark skies concept,
Yeah,
it can always be
just
turned
turn it
off.
off, exactly. Yeah, but like, or if there was a neighbor that said, hey, this thing hasn't been here for 40 years, and now you got this bright thing shining on it, it was bad enough, you cut down. Then you sort of say, well, all right. what's
Right.
the
It's
benefit?
part of the development.
Yeah.
So.
Great, all right, I'm good, thank you.
Um,
I will make a motion to accept the streetlight installed at the intersection of Claflin Farm Road and Hopkinton Road as a town streetlight to be maintained under the town's streetlight program.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
See you tomorrow, Bill.
My understanding is we are going to pass over the acceptance of the gift of,
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
Is there a cost associated with that?
$175 a
No,
year.
maintenance wise, but anything
Oh.
up front?
No.
No.
no, it was all on the developer. And then we approved the street, he turned it over
Great,
to us.
There's a lot for the town.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just asking.
I,
All right, town managers report.
Okay, so this is a bit outdated as you have the finance committee budget report in front of you. But obviously FinCom has completed their budget recommendations. Town meeting book just came back from the printer, has the warrant in the back, and the warrant has been posted by the town constable well in advance of the April 30th deadline. I've been working on the motions, hope to have them completed tomorrow and reviewed by town council and perhaps a few other folks that may be interested in taking a quick look for a second set of eyes. I'm looking at you, Dennis and Steve.
And just as a reminder, town meeting is Thursday, May 7th at 6:30. I have met with the moderator to review the warrant, discuss the format of town meeting, and importantly for you, the select board will meet at 6:15 the night of town meeting. So you'll have your pre-town meeting, just in case there were to be business related to town meeting that came up at that time. So as we mentioned before, we've prepared an overflow space in the gym with a second moderator and additional voting devices. Excuse me, borrowed from Grafton. And I've also been in contact with the superintendent of schools to ask if we can reserve the faculty area of the parking, sorry. Excuse me, parking lot. Does anyone have a?
Take your time.
Hold on.
So sorry, allergies.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
realized I forgot to bring my water. Okay. Working on trying to cordon off that upper area of the parking lot so that we can have folks who have mobility issues. I understand last year there was like a basketball game going on and the upper parking lot was full, so people had to hike in, ways. We want to make it as accessible for folks to be able to.
That's the lot directly by the gym, by their entrance. And
That's always open.
I think
people-
last year.
There was Patrick
There was a
Hughes,
basketball.
That's because there was something, basketball game or something. going on.
Right, but they don't
That's what
shut the
she's talking
schools
about.
down for
That's-
town meeting,
That's what we're
so
talking about.
we're hoping to preserve some of those spots for people with mobility issues.
They do preserve that spot for
They
election.
didn't last.
No, for
the
election.
election,
Yeah.
but
Not for town meeting, so
not
I'm,
town meeting.
and I've been speaking today to the superintendent and we might need like a detail, so in order to kind of manage that.
Mhm.
And so I'm in conversations with Chief Mulroney and the superintendent about that. So sorry. The recreation summer staff interviews are complete. There were over 100 applicants interviewed and offer letters have been sent out for everything related. HR is in the process of onboarding over 60 summer staff, as well as 2 communications officers that have been hired over at PD in a part-time capacity. Also would like to welcome new Assistant Treasurer Collector Sue Rogers, who many of you got to meet outside, and I would ask for you to confirm, will ask for you to confirm her appointment this evening. She brings over 20 years of municipal finance experience to Upton. She's quite a find. That is uncommon, as I'm sure, I don't need to tell you, this day and age. So very fortunate to have her. She's worked for a number of towns, and she actually worked with Jeff's previously, over in Grafton,
Which is
back in the day. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to build on that prior.
You better plan to take it tomorrow off with that cough.
I'm telling you, it's allergies. I do not feel sick at all, I promise. But if you'd like me surfing co-chair, I will take tomorrow off.
You're the boss.
I guess I need to. The personnel board met last night and worked on updating job descriptions and a few updates to the policy and procedures manual. The Health Insurance Advisory Committee met on March 25th and approved the FY 27 insurance renewal. That, as I previously mentioned, has that rate increase of 8.35% for health insurance and 0.14% for dental insurance. Since they were estimating 15 to 20% originally, that is a godsend and a, huge significant decrease. I think they kind of like to under-promise and over-deliver a little bit, but they scared all of us with 15 to 20%, so this is a good thing. We had a benefits fair yesterday from 11 to 1 in the gym. We had, I would say, about 8 to 10 employees that came through and were able to speak with representatives from Maya as well as the Massachusetts Smart Plan, which is the 457B deferred compensation plan where you can build your retirement, put a portion of your income, salary pre-tax to that account. So I thought it was great and well attended. As I mentioned to Brett earlier, even if one employee gets something out of it, I think offering that benefits fair is really important to provide our employees with the benefits that they're offered and deserve to have. And currently have 4 job openings or active recruitments for seasonal laborers, and a heavy equipment operator, paramedic firefighter, and a seasonal conservation field assistant. I would like to thank Mike Antonellis and his team up in Land Use and Inspectional Services. We received a grant in the amount of $35,000 from, this is a long one, the Massachusetts Federal Funds and Infrastructure Office for the town's hazard mitigation plan update. That is a FEMA required update for those of you who are not familiar with it. Has to be done every 5 years, keeps you eligible for grant funding. So great that we don't have to spend the funding. And I understand that Mike will be working with CMRPC. They are very well versed. They actually just finished this last year for the town of Berlin and did a fantastic job. So I can only say good things about them. Mike and I also had the opportunity to meet with Mass Development regarding potential future development grants. It was a great eye-opening opportunity. They've expanded and consolidated with some different agencies, and there are just a lot of opportunities if we are in the pre-development, anything we're looking at for business, potential growth, site development, pre-planning, looking at potentially, where we go with different properties in the future. So it's just great to have that knowledge in the back of our minds as we move through and work on projects. The town clerk wanted to let everyone know that ballots have been received for the annual town election and will be mailed out to voters who will request them. The deadline to request a vote by mail ballot is Tuesday, May 5th at 5 p.m. So get those in if you are interested. And absentee ballots can be voted in the town clerk's office until noon on Monday, May 11th. Finally, Denise wanted to let us know that phase 1 of the U.S. Census 2030 Block Boundary and Suggestion Project, otherwise known as BPSP, which sounds better, is complete. This is a review of the Plan 2030 Census boundary lines and precinct lines for Upton, and only a few minor updates were needed. So, all right, thinking about the 2030 census. I would like to thank Principal Assessor Valerie Leonardo for giving me a second very informative tour of town, which was great to help get me acclimated. And I had 3 tours when I came to Berlin, so one more person has to step up and give me a tour. So we'll get there. I've also finally had the opportunity to leave my office. I visited the community center, fire station, police station, and Racine building to start to get an understanding of where we're at with town facilities and issues that are impacting the different departments. Tomorrow morning, oh, sorry, not tomorrow, I'm way jumping ahead. Friday morning is tea with the town manager. So this is going to be the first Friday of every month at 10 a.m. at the community center, open to all who are interested in stopping in and having some tea. There may be coffee as well. Just chatting, answering questions, addressing concerns. You want to just stop by and say hi. Everybody is welcome. I also wanted to mention Upton Earth Day that will be held on May 2nd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. starting at the community center. And last but not least, I have had the opportunity to join the ICMA, which is the International City County Management Association. And I've started a really fantastic course on effective supervisory practices. And working my way toward becoming a credentialed manager, which has been a career goal of mine from a professional development perspective, but it only helps the town because it's teaching me about leadership and strategic planning and visioning and how we move forward and continue to professionalize our operations. So I'm really excited. I feel like I'm in school. There's a textbook and I kind of geek out about that kind of stuff. So it's been really great so far. I was saying to Brett earlier, I just realized the last management training I took was 10 years ago. So it's probably about time to get a little bit of up-to-date knowledge in that area. And that's all I have for you.
Very good.
What time did you say the Earth Day starts? At 9 or 8?
9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Thank you.
I just mentioned one thing. You mentioned the moderator. Have we done the consent calendar? What's gonna be included on there yet?
Yes, that, when the moderator and I met, we hashed that out and I've included that in the draft motions that I'm working on. So we are good to go there.
And I called the moderator today. I received a call from the Mendon Upton Cub Scouts who would like to lead the pledge this year. So they will.
Oh,
So usually that's the chair's job. I'm going to turn the microphone over to the kids. So, just so.
Cub Scouts together.
Now they've combined now. I guess they're losing members, but they've combined,
At
so.
some point, we're gonna start with the Upton Mendon.
Yeah, we do.
Let's switch that around if you want to come to Upton Town meeting.
Might be a good idea to start taking down the town line too.
Not saying that.
That's been going on for.
So the one item on the consent calendar that sometimes causes issues that we may want to just cover is that some of the consent calendar is like different raise and appropriate free cash.
Yep,
We got kind of taken aback by that one year. We just want to make sure we cover that because you usually do consent. So I think it was Kenny who actually brought it up,
okay.
or Paul.
So in the motion for the consent calendar, I think Joe set it up this way and I stole it. Because I want to make sure we do it the right way. It lists the articles and it states the funding source for
Perfect.
each one. So I think we're covered there.
Yep. Perfect.
But I will make sure that we're all clear on all of those.
Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
You're zipping right along. So the appointment of Susan Rogers as Assistant Treasurer Collector.
Spoke a bit to that before.
Yes.
We had a little bit of cart before the horse. She was supposed to start next week and poor Jessica has been alone in the office for a month. And Kathleen has been kind enough to be helping us, the assistant town clerk. She had contacted me and was available to start today. And I said, okay, I'll take that hit because she's that good and we want her. So you guys can give me a slap on the wrist. on
No,
that.
I think we found a very qualified person. And I think the fact her and Jess have a previous working relationship and work well together, you couldn't ask for a better situation as far as I'm concerned.
Smile on
Yeah.
Jess's face said it all. It was great.
Exactly. She's like, oh my God, they've come full circle. She's been swamped.
Really cool.
Once again, we need to take care of our employees.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she did.
Well, thank you. And normally I would not do it that way, but I appreciate you understanding under the given circumstances that I wanted to move forward that way. And appreciate you backing me on that. So thank you.
No problem. So do we need a motion on that?
Yes, I think so. I move to appoint Susan Rogers as Assistant Treasurer Collector effective immediately per the recommendation of the town manager.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Next would be the appointment request of Lisa Morton for Cemetery Commission. Lisa, I believe you are online. If you would like to unmute yourself.
Waiting patiently.
Thank you. You've just lived through the most scintillating meeting ever, I'm sure.
It was good stuff. I love to hear it.
So if you would just introduce yourself and tell us why you're interested in cemetery, we'd love to hear it.
Sure. I'm Lisa Morton. I've lived in Upton for 11 years now, and I have been interested in joining to help Upton out on one of the committees. I was actually on the cable television committee in Worcester when I lived there. So it's something that I like to do where I live. My daughter just turned or is turning 13. So things have calmed down a bit in terms of, you know, taking her here and there. So I felt like I had time and I went and looked and the cemetery commission was the one that needed an opening. And I looked at what they wanted and I think it kind of aligns with what I do as a job in terms of looking at bids and aligning fees and things like that.
Does anybody have any other questions?
So, wonderful. Thank you. Welcome.
We
Thanks for
appreciate,
volunteering.
yes, and
Yes,
we
thank
are truly grateful for our volunteers and thank you for stepping forward. And I hope this is just the first of many committees you'd like to get on. So do I hear a motion?
We'll see. Yep.
Excuse me, Sue.
The recommendation for the motion from the town clerk would be until June 30th, 2028.
Okay, to fill in.
Have that. So,
June 30th, 2028.
yes.
No.
I move to appoint Lisa Morton to the Cemetery Commission for a term to expire on June 30th, 2028. in accordance with the Kansas Act.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Congratulations. When you get a chance,
Thank you.
pop in clerk's office and she'll swear you in.
I'll be sending.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. And the next is discuss vote to authorize the town manager to execute municipal electricity aggregation contract.
That's a mouthful,
It
and
is.
it is relatively recent, so I don't want to, I had to learn this, which is why I put the memo together. Please stop me if I'm going too far along and you remember all of this. Feel free to cut me off, but in October of 24, Upton launched its Community Choice Power Supply Program. The idea behind that is use the purchasing power of the residents in town to get stable, affordable energy rates that are competitive with National Grid. As you know, there's also independent suppliers out there that sometimes come knocking on doors, but this is an automatic opt-in if you're not with a different supplier and you are with National Grid. So Upton signed a 24-month contract with Direct Energy at the rate of 14 cents per kilowatt hour, 14 cents and a few other little digits. And that represented a 12% savings over the National Grid rate at the time, which was a little over 16 cents. This is a standard product that meets mass renewable energy requirements. And there were also 2 other programs that had more renewable energy that residents could opt into at a slightly higher rate. But the pricing that we have now, that 14 cents, is valid through October of 26. At which time we'll need to execute a new contract. So Colonial Power, who is the contractor, what's the word? I'm sorry, not contractor, the,
Aggregate.
yeah, sorry, really losing words tonight. They are basically our consultants, who helps broker the electricity aggregation. So they reached out because they say you want to start looking at pricing about 6 months in advance and start to see where things are trending. And interestingly enough, they're starting to come down. I did ask this question. They are intrinsically tied to oil. So what's going on, obviously, in the Middle East has an impact. But they are actually still, while they're coming down, they're still a little high and volatile. So, but the current rates are 15 to 17 cents per kilowatt hour. So not terrible. It's unlikely we'll be able to get 14 cents again, but we want to watch these trends and be able to lock in the pricing. And the way that it works is basically they call you in the morning and they say you have until 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. to lock in the pricing because the afternoon markets are so volatile. So basically this is, something that they would watch. They're recommending right now because of what may be going on in the fall. We may end up wanting to lock in prices by the end of July before it changes over to winter rates. So basically, they advise us as the, I'm sorry, I lost my screen here. As the rates change on a daily basis, they watch them, they advise us when would be the best time for us to lock in those rates. And sorry, skipped down my page. Let's see. So basically, the request would be if the rates come in at the appropriate price, to have the board provide that authorization for me to lock in that pricing because it literally has to happen within a 2 to 4 hour window every day. We have 14 residents that are enrolled in one of the 2 alternative products that have the higher percentage of renewable energy. So not a huge percentage, but as such, I recommend that we stick with the 3 types of products that we have now. So I will leave it at that. You may have a lot more questions, but.
I only have a question. So when this came, it was a direct opt-out program. So when we renew, do we have to opt out again? Or if we've opted out, are we automatically opted out?
That is a good question. I can find out the answer to that for you.
Because there was a lot of confusion with people saying, why do I have to opt out?
Yeah, people don't like that.
No.
But it's how you get the buying power to be able to get the low price.
Right.
Let me find that out.
Because we did a pretty good publication last time saying, hey, keep your eyes open. This is what's gonna happen. So if we need to push info out to the
Even just saying
public.
like it's legitimate, because a lot of times people see this,
Oh.
they're like, this, is this
Oh,
even
they
valid?
would, but they can opt out anytime they want.
They can, but before somebody
Yeah.
gets, because I know years ago, the town of Upton did it, and my electric bill was fine, and the moment it went through the roof, and I couldn't figure it out. And come to find out, I don't know why, but I had to opt out, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and you can.
You know,
opt
because
out.
I was like, what on earth is going on with my, and I don't know if it had renewed at different rates or what.
Yeah, and sometimes those independent providers that will provide have like escalation clauses in
Yeah.
there or cancellation fees. So the nice thing about this is, and I will find out that answer, but if you have to opt out, you can also opt out at any time with no penalty.
Right,
So that's the nice thing about the
Right.
program. Yes, it's a little bit of pain, but we have all the information on our website and can direct folks that need to do that.
exactly, I just wanna make sure that everybody, if we all have to re-opt out come October, that we.
Yeah.
Well,
They
are
send,
well
they
publicized.
send a postcard.
I was just gonna say,
But you
they
can't
will
believe
send.
anything you get in the mail.
Exactly.
You know, I think
I
I
can see that stuff and
that
I'm
I
like,
knew
no.
a toll program due in Franklin County and this county and Dukes. I'm like, yeah, no, I wasn't speeding on Nantucket, so, and there's no tolls on Nantucket, but yeah, there's also, there's so many scams, we just. Trust to come from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Cause I don't believe anything I receive.
I got a notice today from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for not paying my speeding fine.
Oh, no.
You're like, no,
I-
I don't think so.
Believe me, not her.
No,
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're a delinquent and you're going to jail.
Yeah.
they all, they had the logo, the whole 9 yards, the judge's name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they want you,
It's what they think I'm a
Literally
attorney.
just this morning, my wife sent me a text that said, did you order a $585 coffee maker?
oh,
No, definitely didn't order a $585 coffee maker.
yeah, you know, at 3 in the morning, right? I know, well,
It's like, no.
one of my credit cards got hacked. And they shut me down because somebody tried to charge $350 at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so it's been shut down. And I said to I was like, I don't use it for anything. And my kid goes, when was the last time you used it? I said, I went to Lowell's in Westboro. And he goes, did you insert it? I said, yeah, I tapped it twice. It wasn't working. So I stuck it in. He goes, there's a skimmer on that. He goes, never insert it. And I was like, oh, what do you know? Because it's not a card I use often,
Yeah,
you
right,
know?
and like usually it would work with the tap.
Yeah,
So,
it-
but you're right, if I tap, it works out.
You know, and I'm picking up rug shampoo for a
Yeah.
property I'm gonna list and I'm tapping, so I shoved it in because I had to get where I was going.
Now we know.
FYI, so you must have done the same thing with yours.
Yes.
I never.
She sent me this like a whole receipt from the PayPal and the
It's
subscriptions, like I need subscriptions of this coffee.
I see.
You're paying $585.
Shelf soap.
I want the description that says coffee maker, I'm paying $585 for this thing. Alright.
Okay, put it
Alright, so, do
I
I hear a motion?
I move to authorize the town manager to execute energy aggregation pricing on behalf of the town of Upton, including approving and locking in the rate with the winning supplier for the term and product selected by the town and execute any associated contract agreements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, has everyone reviewed the exec? Tonight either, must be, maybe it's.
I don't know, it's the.
It's the.
The executive session minutes from April 9th and April 14th, has everyone reviewed them? Are we all in agreement? Any changes? Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move to approve and release the executive session minutes of April 9th, 2026 and April 14th, 2026 to be kept on file as required under the open meeting law.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Do I hear an adjournment at 7:10?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn at 7:10. Thank you.
Okay.